Good day, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Joshua Burt, and I'm an International Officer at the University of Plymouth. Today, I'm going to be presenting to you a Study in the UK 101 session. So this session is designed for students who are considering studying in the UK, but don't know how to begin the process, what to do, what they need in place, all of that type of stuff. So hopefully today, this presentation will help you in deciding what you want to do in the future and if the UK is a good fit for you. So during this presentation, we'll cover a few different topics. Firstly, why would you consider studying in the UK? What are the advantages to coming here? And what benefits will you receive going forward into the future once you graduate from studying at a UK university? Moving on from that, we will talk about how do you decide which university is the correct fit for you. A lot of students have preconceived notions of the type of universities that are based in the UK, but these can be over-exaggerated in certain opinions. We want to make sure that you have the best fit for you as a student coming to the UK and what you're looking to get out of your experience. Then we'll briefly talk about the application process, how you apply, what you need to have in place before you apply, and the entry requirements that we require and stuff like that. And finally, we will talk about what to expect during your time at university in the UK. What happens when you first come to the country, how you get to the university that you've chosen, and the first couple of weeks of you joining that university. So, why would you consider studying in the UK? Well, there's a wide number of reasons why you might think that the UK is a good option for you. Firstly is our reputation. We do hold a worldwide reputation as having quite a high level of prestige in the UK, both regarding our teaching methods, but also our research that takes place in the UK institutions. We also offer a great level of student support. This might be different to your home country at the moment, and the university is based there. The UK is well regarded for its student support, both in general education support, but also looking forward towards graduating and recruitment and opportunities and stuff like that. In the UK, a standard undergraduate degree is 3 years total, with a postgraduate master's program typically being 1 year. Now, this does hold a few caveats pertaining to the course that you choose. If you are looking at a medical degree or dentistry, those typically take 5 years, but they do not require any pre-med aspect to come and study in the UK. For example, if you were looking to become a doctor, you can start your studies of medicine when you're 18 and you've graduated from high school. It is a 5-year program, so by the time you're 23, you can be a fully qualified doctor and then begin practicing. Although our 3-year program may seem a lot shorter than comparative countries such as the US or Canada, we do hold very high completion rates for our typical 3-year undergraduate courses. So, for example, the average UK 3-year graduation rate currently sits at 82%. So 82% of all students will graduate in the first 3 years. In comparison, I believe the US average 4-year graduation rate currently sits at approximately 42%. So you can see quite a large difference in terms of completion rates. And then looking forward into your employability choices. The majority of UK programs are recognised on an international level, depending on the program you study. Obviously, if you are looking at stuff like law or medicine, you may need to pass a aptitude test on your return or your progression onto another country. If you are looking to stay in the United Kingdom once you graduate, there are many career opportunities available for you if you do choose this path. We've recently increased our post-study work visa to a 2-year long visa. So that gives you 2 years after you graduate from a university in the UK to find suitable employers who are sponsored and can then allow you to get a visa as an employed person. Okay, so something that will be very important to you will be the application process. Now, the majority of students, particularly those from the Americas, will choose to use the UCAS application system. Now, this is very commonplace for domestic UK students as well. And you can see here, there are listed a few important dates and deadlines that you need to keep in mind. So the first deadline is January the 15th. So if you're looking to come to us in September 2021, January the 15th of the same year is typically seen as the UCAS Fair Rights Policy application deadline. So if you choose to come to the UK and choose to apply through the UCAS application system, I highly recommend, if possible, you have your full application in place by the 15th of January to allow you equal opportunity access to the programme. If you are an international student, a lot of UK universities will allow you to apply after this date. However, for popular courses, for example, at Plymouth, our marine biology course is a very popular degree. If you try to apply after January the 15th, there is no guarantee that you will be provided a space on the course. However, if you do it before that date, as long as your predicted grades, or if you've received them, your final grades, are of a significant level that we require, you will receive a position. So do keep that in mind. January the 15th is a very important deadline if you're looking to apply to the UK. I will caveat this by saying that if you are interested in studying medicine or dentistry in the United Kingdom, or if you want to apply to either Oxford or Cambridge University, they hold a separate deadline. This is October the 15th. So do keep that in mind if we are close to that date at the moment. Obviously, you don't have a very long period to get your application into us. It's very important you do. For example, at Plymouth, our medicine degree will only allow students who apply by the 15th of October entry. So past that deadline, it can be very hard for you to achieve a place on such popular courses. Now, moving on, May 2021 will be the offers and deciding period. So what this means is you've obviously sent your application in, hopefully by January 15th, to the 5 university choices you can make through UCAS. By May, you will have received an offer, which I will come on to later, and then you make a decision on which university you pick from there. Then in August, you sit your exams, or if you've already sit them in a previous date, you receive your grading and you find out if you've got into your choice, which then starts in September, obviously a very exciting time period. So we are going to play a quick game of real or fake. For those of you who haven't heard of this concept before, this is a short game just to introduce you to the amount of choice available in UK universities and the types of programs that you may not have thought exist as university degrees, but are currently possible options. So going forward, I'm going to show a few different university programs that are available and or could be available, and it's up to you to decide if they are real or fake. Okay, so the first one coming up today is a foundation degree in Contemporary Circus. So have you ever wanted to be a professional juggler or clown holding a foundation degree level program certification? Do you think this one is real or fake? Moving on. So this is a possibility of a Bachelor of Arts honours degree in horology. For those of you who don't know, horology is the study of time and is primarily taught to students wishing to go into watchmaking and that type of profession. Now, do you think this is a real one Or surely not, it can't be. Is it a fake? Again, another very interesting one here, a Bachelor of Arts honours degree in professional floristry. So, are you a person who enjoys the preparation and presentation of flowers? If so, would it be something that you consider studying as a bachelor's program? Now, is this real or fake? What do you think? Okay, moving on. This one always excites me. Bachelor of Arts honours degree in puppetry, specifically focusing on design and performance. Could this possibly be a degree taught in the UK? I don't know. I'm not too sure. What do you think? And finally, a foundation program in surf science and technology. Now, the goat is optional. That is up to you if you choose to bring your pet goat along with you, but you must provide the safety jacket, as you can see in this image. Now, would a university in the UK be teaching surf science and technology? It sounds like quite a selective type of course. Do you think that this is actually a real area? Okay, so now you've had time to think about those options. How many do you think is real? Is it 1, 2, all 5? Surely they can't all be real. Well, they are. All of these programs at the time of giving this presentation are courses that you can study at a UK university. Now, you may be wondering, why am I showing you this? What relevance does it have? Well, I'm hoping that you can pick up from this and see that we're not just a selective country when it comes to types of courses. A lot of people obviously come to us for specific engineering programs or law or medical degrees. However, we do offer a wide plethora of different course areas, and it's up to you if you want to study them. But there are a lot of options out there. So, moving on, how do you go about choosing the university? Obviously, different universities have different specialities and different requirements to get onto the course. That's very important. I think these should be your leading factors when it comes to identifying, at least on your first draft, what universities you're interested in. Obviously, the most important element will be what level of study you've ascertained, and if that is required specifically onto your course. For example, when I went to university, I did a business studies degree. Now, a course like business studies is quite commonplace, which means entry requirements wouldn't be as high as, for example, a marine biology program. However, different universities will have different requirements and different level sets on what they need you to achieve. So if you go for a higher ranked university, typically they have higher entry requirements. So do place yourself on your capabilities. We don't want you obviously studying at a university not being able to achieve the pass requirements when you come to us. And as I mentioned, subject. We're not just specifically focusing on a certain area. Most universities are comprehensive, meaning that they have a wide selection of course areas. But do keep in mind, if you are looking for a more specific course area, something, say for example, if you were looking at a coastal based program like marine biology or naval architecture, obviously I would recommend not looking at universities in the centre of the UK. You want to look for one based on the coast, such as Plymouth. Other concepts you should consider: facilities. What are you looking for in terms of your university? Are you looking for a large university with over 20,000 students on campus? Or are you looking for something a little bit quieter? Are you looking for universities with a strong scientific presence, with lots of laboratories and field trips to allow you to study a more active role in the scientific community? Or are you looking for something a bit more academically classroom focused? Are you looking for seminars and lectures to be given in facilities such as the one you see on the left-hand picture? Also thinking about stuff like libraries, about the accommodation options available. All of these should be playing around in your mind when you're deciding which way to go. And of course, location is a very important thing. A lot of people consider the UK to be fairly small, However, it does take a long time to travel. So you can see on this map here, the pin is placed in our capital city of London. If you look to the bottom left of the image, right at the bottom left, you'll see Plymouth and our location in the UK down in the southwest of the country. It takes approximately 3 hours to travel to London from Plymouth. So that's also something you should definitely consider. Are you looking for a metropolis? Again, not just the size of the university, but the size of the city you're in. Are you looking for a city centre university or a campus-focused university? Do you want to be living in the city centre where it might be a bit more expensive? Or are you looking for something on the outskirts of the city with a few more options for accommodation, for example? And as I mentioned before, are you looking to be on the coast, or do you want to be inland? Are you looking to be in the north or the south, the east or the west? There's a lot of different opportunities there. The UK is very seasonal, and weather is quite temperate depending on the location you go to. If you don't mind the cold, obviously looking up towards Scotland and the north of England is quite a nice opportunity if you want to see some snow. But also, again, if you're looking for slightly better weather and a more sunny disposition, look at the south of the UK, the south coast, with the opportunities there. So how do you go about doing your research? Obviously, joining events such as today's give you a lot of opportunity to talk to staff members from the universities, see what they have on offer, and see what the more specific student life aspect is. But you can also look at a lot of other different options. For example, the university websites. So you can see here I've grabbed just a couple different university websites around the UK. These will give you the straightforward approach to entry requirements, course offerings, accommodation. This is definitely the most comprehensive place to get your information of a specific university. Make sure that the culture of the university is one that you find fits your own personality. Also, social media. Both universities and students are very active on social media, as I'm sure you know. If you're looking to get what's currently taking place on campus and the types of activities that take place, or maybe even the different sports clubs and societies that you have a choice of joining, visit the university's verified social media. Also on websites such as Pinterest, Reddit, LinkedIn, Flickr, all of these websites may allow you to interact directly with current students, maybe even from your home country, which then allows you to see, for example, if you're a student from the Middle East, how many Middle Eastern students are based in the university that you're studying at? Are there any societies around your nationality? If you're an American student, are you looking for a bit more home cooking food back from the US rather than the UK food? All of these types of things are important. You want to make sure that if you are looking for a solid relationship with your local community, that this is where you go for that. As I mentioned before, UCAS. So UCAS is a very important tool. It's not just where you apply to university, but it's also where you can begin your process of looking at different universities. You can see there in the bottom left, we have a search for courses tab available. If there's a general course topic you want to study, click on that and pick it, and it will pull you up a full list of all of the universities in the UK who offer that type of program. That's a really good place to start. You can sign in and create an account for free, start browsing and doing research, maybe comparing different universities on their entry requirements and their facilities. Then once you feel comfortable in your application process to apply to universities, you then look at the application process, which is this deadline here. So these are the types of things you need to have in place, the types of information you need to have in place when applying to UK universities. Obviously, your general personal details are very important. These need to be accurate and truthful. Otherwise, we won't be able to take you on as a student at later stages. And then looking at student finance opportunities. Now, obviously, domestic students in the UK typically receive a student loan. If that is the same case as your home country at the moment, perfect. You need to upload information based on how you will be paying for this degree. Is it going to be paid independently? Are you looking to fund it yourself, or maybe your family are looking to fund it for you? Do you have any scholarship opportunities available? A large number of countries will offer personal scholarships to you. Or if you're in North America, for example, the US, are you looking at FAFSA loans, Sally Mae, anything like that? Very important to do your research first, see what is available to you and what the university can offer you to help out. As I mentioned previously, you can make up to 5 different university or course choices. Now, this does mean if there is a specific university you like the look of, and they offer a few courses relevant to the type of area you want to study, you can make a number of choices to one university. However, we typically recommend you try and pick 5 different universities with the same program that you're looking for. Different universities are looking for different requirements as students, and having quite a varied opportunity options available to you might actually help you in making your choice. Moving on from that, we do need to see your education history. Okay, obviously looking at your primary education, your young years education, your kindergarten may not be as important to us as your high school education. If you're in the US and you're sitting the SATs, we want to know what specific subjects you're studying, if you're doing the ACTs or the APs, or if you're doing an internationally recognised qualification such as the International Baccalaureate. We need to know what subjects you're studying at higher level. If you are looking for a science-based subject or an engineering-based subject, a lot of those will ask that you have higher level experience in mathematics or one of the science subjects, chemistry, physics, biology. You must make sure that your education actually fits to allow you to enter such courses. Once you have all this in place, you then need to start considering something called a personal statement. Now, for those of you who haven't heard this terminology before, a personal statement very simply can be seen as an essay selling you to the university. Okay. Now, this personal statement is sent out to all 5 of your university choices. So if you have got multiple university choices in place, do not specifically name one university, because the other 4 will not enjoy that experience, as you can expect. If you name a specific university and then send it off to a different university, they may not be happy with your application. So try and keep it a bit more general. As I said, try and keep it focused around one course specific area. If, for example, you are looking at business studies, do not start talking about the performing arts or the illustration course in this personal statement. Try and keep it focused around one area. And finally, your academic references. So universities typically need an academic reference in place. Normally it is written by one of your close teachers, for example, or your personal tutors in your classroom. Someone who knows you well, knows your general education style, if you're performing, what you've done outside of class. All these sorts of things should be written in here. So again, as I mentioned, the personal statement, typically it is 4,000 characters total. So this is just over 1 A4 page, typically. Do keep that in mind. It cannot go over 4,000 characters. It must remain concise. I recommend when drafting your personal statement, your first one should definitely be over 4,000 characters, and then you can decide what you want to keep in and what you can get rid of to make it as appealing as possible to the university. You must keep it concise. Obviously, grammar is a very important element of the personal statement. If you do have grammatical or spelling mistakes, particularly spelling mistakes in place in your application to university, the university may not look on that very fondly, so keep that in mind. It is very important. The content, as I mentioned before, obviously showing your academic history, why you want to study this course. We want to see a passion. We don't just want students looking to study a degree because they think it will give them the best job in the future. We're looking for students who have shown an interest in that specific study area for a long time. We need to see some history involved there. We also want to see that you're a well-rounded person. We want to see if you are captain of any sports teams or any academic programs at your university, at your high school, sorry. If you are volunteering, if you have any charity work experience, put that in there. We want to see that you aren't just a bookworm. We want to see that you are a well-rounded person. You can also mention in there about your career opportunities, what you hope to do in the future, and as I mentioned, any prior work experience that you've taken part in. Now, very importantly, do not plagiarize this material. Okay, it may seem an easy process to just go on Google, search what people have written in the past, and just copy and paste it. Do not do this. We do have anti-plagiarism software, and all of our personal statements are put through this software. We will know if you have taken any information and not changed it to suit yourself, and that will definitely affect your application process. If you need more advice on how to go about this and what to do, speak to your high school counsellor about this process. Okay, they have worked in this industry for a number of years. They have very good experience in what universities are looking for and what to put in, what to leave out. So definitely talk it over with them and look at the opportunities available to you. Okay, so that is the personal statement. Once you put that in and you have your academic references, time to apply. Then looking into the future, we look at the application process. So, as I mentioned, 5 university choices. Hopefully, you'll hear back from all 5 of those choices, and they will offer you 3 different offers. Okay, so the most popular and most common type of offer is called a conditional offer. Now you can see here that is the middle of the options on the left-hand side. So a conditional offer, don't worry about the terminology, it's nothing too scary. All it means is, from the university's perspective, is we like your application, we think you would be a good fit for us. Now all we need from you is to meet these conditions that we set forth. Now these are primarily academically focused, so if you are doing SATs, they may ask for a 1400 to be able to enter the course. They may ask for more specific information as well. For example, if you are doing a performing arts or an illustrative arts course, they may ask for a portfolio of your current artistic work, or they may ask to interview. So this is typically for international students done over Skype, for example, or Zoom, and it allows you to just talk to the academic tutor about the course, about why you would be a good match, and any prior experience or knowledge that you have. Also keep in mind, for international students, this typically will also have a condition of receiving a visa. To come to the UK and study, you require a student visa to do so. So you must have that obviously in place to receive your final offer. So once you have all of those things in place, you then move on to an unconditional offer. This means that you've met all of your academic requirements and the place is yours if you want to take it. Now, sometimes this can be offered right from the outset of you receiving your offers from the universities. That means that if that is the case and you still have exams to take, we're not too worried about the final grade you achieve. However, for the majority of students, they'll receive an unconditional offer once they sit their exams. This is very uncommon to receive early on in the process. And finally, unfortunately, if the university's decided not to offer you a position, you will receive an unsuccessful application offer. That means, sorry, not this time, hopefully another university will offer you a place. So you can see on the right-hand side there, this is how a typical offer will look on the UCAS website. You'll be able to click on it and view it. And then once you've confirmed which university you want to pick, you then have to make a choice. So of the 5 universities you pick, you are allowed to take forward 2 of those choices. Now, the other 3, unfortunately, you must decline. So you put them aside, leave them alone, not worry about that in the future. Now, when it comes to your two choices, they are separated into two different types of choice. The first one will be your firm choice. Okay, so that will be either a conditional firm or an unconditional firm, depending on your status. Now, this will be your most desired university choice. Okay, so if there's a specific university which you have your heart set on joining, make it your firm choice. Then your second will then become your insurance choice. Now, this is typically given to students, and I would highly recommend you make your insurance choice a university with slightly lower entry requirements. Okay, as I spoke about before, different universities will require different levels for entry academically. Now, make your firm choice what you hope to achieve, and then make your insurance choice what you will hopefully achieve, and a bit more realistic. If you were to mess up an exam, for example, it's not fully all resting on your firm choice. Make that your insurance choice. Okay? And then looking into August, obviously studying and sitting your exams taking place during this time. Once you receive your results, you can then log back into the UCAS website and confirm your place with one of those two options. Obviously, your firm option is your first choice. So if you achieve the grades and you get offered a position in your firm choice, obviously your insurance choice then becomes open to allow for other students to hopefully take your position at the other university. Ready to come and then start in the autumn period. So typically universities begin their academic year in September of each year. This typically takes place mid-September. For internationally focused students, there isn't normally you join the university 1 week prior to the general domestic university population coming as well. This is to allow you to come to the university and settle in, make sure you have everything in place and aren't totally lost before the general university student population then arrives. Now, when it comes to different opportunities in terms of accommodation, universities in the UK have a lot of different choices. Now, most university students in their first year choose to live in halls of residence, which are also known as dormitories or halls. Now, this is the accommodation blocks that the universities offer. These will either be university managed or privately managed. There are normally both opportunities available at each university, so you decide which one you desire and which one fits you better. Most UK university accommodations are single occupancy rooms, so you don't share your bedroom space with anyone else. And the majority these days are also ensuite facilities as well, so you get your own shower and your own toilet and sink, normally within your room in a separate cubicle space. And then you would typically share the kitchen facilities with between 6 to 10 other students. And that allows you to have the social skills in place to allow you to meet other students in the first couple of days. You normally become very good friends with your housemates and then do all the socializing and that type of activity together. Your first week at university, your international orientation week, typically allows you to experience living in the UK for the first time. There's normally a lot of sessions in place to help you set up, for example, UK bank accounts, get a UK telephone number, and meet other international students, maybe from your home country or your own region, or if you want to meet other people, that normally takes place during this week. Then in your second week of study, it's also known as Freshers Week, where a number of activities take place. As I said, this is primarily when the domestic student population from the UK also arrive. Now, we hold a Freshers Fair each year, which allows you to look at all of the different societies, fraternities, and sports clubs available to you. If you're interested in skiing or surfing or snowboarding, or if you're looking for more academically focused or something like big band or orchestral performances, join the Freshers Fair, look at what's available to you. Typically, a lot of local companies will also join during this week as well, during the Freshers' Fair, such as you can see in the bottom left, Domino's, the pizza company. You actually can get free food and free equipment from most of the booths during the Freshers' Fair too. As I mentioned, clubs and societies is a very important aspect to UK university culture, so much so that every Wednesday of each week, Wednesday afternoon, most UK universities stop studying during this time, so every UK student has Wednesday afternoon available, and that's when primarily the sports clubs and societies will meet. So if, for example, you're interested in football or sailing or soccer, you can typically meet during the daytime there. If you are performing in an inter-university league, for example, in the UK Soccer League, then you can normally travel to competitive universities during this day if you are performing at one of the higher level groups. Now, there are not only sports clubs available. As I mentioned before, if you are looking for more academically challenging clubs, or if there's a hobby that you have a keen interest in, the chances are at universities, especially the larger universities, you will find like-minded people. And hopefully these like-minded people have come together to form their own club based around that subject. For example, if you are looking at polo, for example, both water and horse polo, or equestrian club, or hiking and mountaineering, most universities will have these types of clubs and societies in place too. Then obviously you come and study with us, and if you're studying a typical program at undergraduate level, 3 years, and then at that stage you come to graduation. Now, this is a culmination of your entire time studying at the university and all the experiences that you've gained during that time, all of the people you've met, all of the networking you've done, all of the work experience and field trips that you've taken place. It all culminates in this, and this is obviously a time of celebration and joy and consideration about what you're going to do next in your life, what the next step is. Now, I like to wrap up my presentation, my Study in the UK presentation, by getting you to think about what you want to do in the future when you graduate. Obviously, coming to the UK and coming to university is a great experience, but you also need to think about what comes next. And I like to say, once you finish, the world is your oyster. The amount of opportunities you have available to you are gigantic. If you are looking at studying further and going into postgraduate study, or even doctoral study in postgraduate research, you can do that if you're looking for different work opportunities, if you want to remain in the country, or if you want to return back to your home country, or maybe try somewhere new. The world is your oyster. You have so many opportunities to go forward and decide what you want to do. Okay, well, I hope you found that informative and interesting, and hopefully not too boring. Of course, any questions that you have in the future, please do feel free to get in contact with me. My name is Joshua Burt, and my email address is, let me just pull that up 1 second. Yeah, so my email address is joshua.burt@plymouth.ac.uk. As I said, I am an international officer at one of the UK universities known as the University of Plymouth down in the southwest. If you want to follow our social media, we are primarily active on Facebook and Twitter, which you can see links there. If you want to visit our website to see what courses we have available, it is www.plymouth.ac.uk. And any further questions, please do feel free to send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any questions or queries that you may have. Okay, hopefully that is it, yes. Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions, just feel free to get in contact. Hope you have a good day. Bye.